Okay, so I wasn't gonna upload twice in a day, but then something insane happened. I broke all my 3x3 PBs from single to AO1000 within 50 solves and within half an hour. I know, ridiculous. So it started out at around 12:20 PM, and I was going to do a mean of 10 AO5 before having lunch. A mean of 10 AO5 is currently sort of trendy. I believe Timon Kolasinski started it all, and you basically do 10 AO5s and take the mean of all averages. So I went on to CS Timer and began my session. I averaged around low 11s to high 10s on a good day, and today I wasn't even that warmed up. I'd done maybe 5 3x3 solves before, and a few big cube solves. Unbeknown to me, where my session had left off last time, I had a sub 10 AO5 with an 8, a 9, and 2 very low 10s. This would prove to be very useful. So I began solving. I got a 10 and an 8 somehow, and then an 11 and a 13. And then I got a 9, leading to a 10.52 average for my first mean of 10 AO5. However, right after, I got a 9 and 2 8s. 2 8s. The fact that this was technically a new average meant that I wasn't even nervous on my third 8. I think the fact that I had just begun and that I wasn't even prepared for a PB meant that I wasn't nervous about the solves. This insane streak of 5 sub 10s in the last 7 solves, compounded by the last solves of my last session that I had talked about at the beginning, gave me my first sub 10 AO12, 9.87 and then a 9.85, beating a previous 10.31 AO12 PB. At the same time, this also gave me a new PB AO5 of 9.13, beating a previous 9.46, and a new mean of 3 PB of 8.75, beating a previous 8.99. It also gave me a new AO25 PB, beating a previous 10.49, and probably also a new AO50 PB, beating a previous 10.93. Honestly, I can't even remember at this point. This completely astonished me, and this meant that for the second average of my mean of 10 AO5 session, I had a 9.48 AO5. However, after this crazy PB farming, I slowed down, getting a 10.76 AO5, then an 11.86 unfortunately with 2 counting 12s, and then an 11.69 with another counting 12, and then a 10.92 with another sub 10 single. I thought this was the end, but of course I was wrong. I got an 8.70, 2 10s, and then my 3x3 PB single. At this point I was just too amazed at myself to realize what I had just achieved. I just beat my 6.96 PB single from 5 months ago that had a freaking V-perm on PLL. Here's the recon. Okay, so this is a reconstruction of my 6.72 3x3 PB single. My previous PB was 6.96, so I beat it by quite a bit. So the scramble will be on screen, and let's get into it. Okay, so I did white cross. The first thing I noticed was this solved edge here, and these two were ready to be set up with L, F prime. Then this edge would end up here, and I could solve the rest with a D prime, R prime, D2. Now, because it was such an easy cross, I could track this pair here. So I noticed that this corner would end up here, with these two being the same color. So I did, L, F prime, D prime, R prime, D2. And then because I knew that this was going to be my next pair, I went straight into solving it at the back like this, rotated and inserted it into the back. Now, as I was inserting it, I noticed this pair in front of me, so I went straight away into splitting it up like this, and then inserting it. And as I was inserting it, I noticed this pair as well, so I went straight into solving that as well, with R prime, U2, R, and then inserted it into the back like this. And finally, as I was inserting my last pair, I noticed this edge and this corner, and I could pair it up like this and insert it. And then easy OLL with no AUF PLL skip. So that was pretty nice. That was a 6.54 TPS and 44 moves, and really smooth look ahead and execution. So that average ended up being a 9.97 after finishing with another 10. After that, I just remained consistent with a 10.99 average, then an 11.1, and finished my mean of 10 AO5 with a 10.31 at around 12:50 PM. During my last few solves, I realized that I could possibly beat my AO100, AO500, as well as AO1000. I knew it was just a matter of time. I easily got my first sub 11 AO100, 10.93, so I guess you could call me sub 11 now. Just before finishing my last AO5, I clinched out an 11.56 AO500 and an 11.62 AO1000. This just made it in the span of 50 solves, an insane feat. As you noticed, I didn't film any of these solves, but I still got the reaction on cam. Jeez, that was an insane session. Oh my god. Now I've just got to calculate my mean of 10 AO5. I'm easily gonna beat it. My previous PB of mean of 10 AO5 is like 11.14, and right now I literally got 80% of my average as well, under 11.1. That's 9.97. I even got 2 sub 10 averages in this mean of 10 AO5. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how I suddenly got this fast. I even got a sub 11 AO100, so technically I'm sub 11 now. And that's it, divided by 10 is a 10.76 mean of 10 AO5, and that means I have broken every single one of my 3x3 PBs in the space of like 50 solves and like less than 40 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't believe I just did that. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and let me ask you a question. What was the most PBs you have ever gotten in one day and in one event? Like, subscribe if you want, I would really appreciate it, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.